Right, today's pre-Christmas video tip of cool Christmas chalk ideas is a Christmas tree with lights. And so we're going to use both visible and black light chalk. If you've not drawn a pine tree before, or an evergreen tree, the motion is sort of a sawtooth motion. And this is very slow and exaggerated, but to give you the idea, maybe do it a little bit bigger here. And that's, you know, that's the motion. That's not the tree. Okay. Let me erase that. That actually looks like chevrons that need to be on the side of a Marine Corps drill instructor's sleeve. Okay, we're going to take that sawtooth motion, and again, we're going to just bring it together. And again, going kind of up and down. Don't want it to be too uniform on the side there. Now, I'm using white for a reason, and that's because white is great to practice with, because you can erase it and it doesn't tend to leave as much residue. Now, another way to do it is a reverse sawtooth motion, like that, with the points going up and gradually going more horizontal, and then finally, you know, coming down, and then you just kind of fill in a little snowy grass there. It's a great way to do a snowy scene too, incidentally, but we're going to use darker chalk when we actually do the trees. So again, there's two ways to do it, kind of an up and down sawtooth motion, depending on how you want the tree to look. And again, my personal favorite is more the sawtooth motion with the teeth pointing up and then gradually spreading out as you go down. So that's a real simple run through on how to do an evergreen tree or a pine tree or a Christmas tree. Now let me erase these. It's a great thing about video, you can start that over again and then you can figure out how to do it. And it takes a little practice, but you'll do it. Alright, so we've taken the pine trees out. Now I'm going to use a different color. Depending on how close or how far away I want the tree to look, I control that one with size, how big I draw the tree, but also I use color to demonstrate or to create the illusion of distance. Obviously, if I use black, but I'm doing little trees, that black is going to be so strong it's going to pull the trees up to the front. So I don't want to use something like black for a distant tree. You use black or dark green in doing your evergreens. Actually, on here, hold them side by side. The green looks almost black itself, but I'm going to use black just because I want it to stand out a little bit more as I draw it. I'm going to draw a very simple, again, vertical or reverse sawtooth Christmas tree or evergreen tree. I'm going to lay in the color just in a minute. I'm going to lay some green in on top of it. Okay, put a little hill there just to make things interesting. And then I'm going to come in with my dark green and just add some green on top of that to give it more of an evergreen feel. Again, if I were doing a full chalk drawing right now, this would be really big, because if I'm going to use black, it's going to be for a very close-up tree. But this is just for illustration purposes. Put a little of that green in there, a little richness. Coming down again on our hill. And then, because this is an outside Christmas tree and it's the middle of winter. Now, I live in North Texas. We don't get a lot of snow here except on Super Bowl Sunday. But I'm going to lay in a little snow just to make it look a little bit more Christmassy, because people tend to associate Christmas and snow for some reason. I'm going to throw in a little snow on top here on some of these branches. And so I have a Christmas tree. You could put in a little bit more highlighting, maybe in a little lighter green if you want to. I'm not going to. But remember, we want to make this a Christmas tree that lights up when you turn your black light on. So I'm going to use some fluorescent, some visible fluorescent chalk. Excuse me, I had to blow some chalk dust off. There we go. Visible fluorescent chalk. You can get this from eternityarts.com. There's invisible fluorescent, which is what I used on Tuesday. It all looks white, but visible fluorescent looks like the color that it's going to show up as when you turn the black light on. So I've got a really bright hot pink and sort of a bright yellow orange. So I'm going to take that bright pink and I'm going to dot in some Christmas lights here. My Christmas lights are, again, would look a little bit more in proportion if I'd drawn the tree bigger. These Christmas lights are a little bit on the large side, but that's okay. Okay, and there was some of the pink. I'm going to come in with a little bit of yellow. Very good, and that's there are the 6 colors. You could put all sorts of different colors on there if you wanted to, but this is just to give you an idea of what you can do. All right, so we've got our Christmas tree drawn in, and let's work the lights now. I turn off my big lights and turn on the black light, and as night falls, and we have a really cool Christmas tree that lights up. And you can do an indoor version of this, you know, if you draw an interior of a house and presents. I've done a drawing where I had a big Christmas tree with presents under it, and the Christmas tree lit up, and it was a really beautiful thing. I don't even remember what my black light was, my invisible picture, but again, very, very simple black light that you can do. Doesn't take a lot of practice. The only part that really takes practice is getting a feel for drawing the evergreen tree. And beyond that, you just throw in some black light Christmas lights, and you've got a Christmas tree that lights up. Well, I hope these have been helpful to you. I hope that maybe you can have a little Christmas fun this weekend with your chalk and your black light, and I hope that you'll come back and check out the blog next week for more tips. Maybe we'll try to come up with some New Year's tips. I don't know. I haven't thought of any. I don't think I've ever done a New Year's chalk drawing, so I'd have to think about that for a while. But I hope that you will have, and this is from all of the See the Light team, hope that you will have, again, a blessed Christmas, and that Jesus Christ will be the center of it. But don't forget to draw some and have fun while you do it.